I watch Hello Okanagan from my food truck.
There's never any good hot sauce when I need it. David, what do you recommend?
Well, Peter, we've got this brand new hot sauce right over here, Caliente. Stuff's so good you could actually drink it.
Hello, Okanagan. Welcome back to another episode. We're hitting double digits, episode 11. And I just want to remind you guys, check us out. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Facebook, not only for the great stories that David and I will have, but more importantly, we're giving away some great prizes from our weekly guests. And we're not going to tell you what the answers are. It's going to be during the show, so you have to watch. And then check out Instagram and Facebook when we post to give you those answers. So first off, we have another success story here, and I wanted to bring on our next guests, Ivan Gracia and Kyle Schumacher, the owners of Caliente Hot Sauce, or if I said it in Spanish, it'd be hot sauce. You may have seen their bottles. It's the only ones in the fresh produce section. That's like the coolest thing I've ever seen when I first moved out here, and seeing that. You see hot sauces normally with all the other hot sauces and all the other ingredients that'll last in your cupboard for years. These guys actually have fresh hot sauce, and that's why it'll be next to like the tomatoes and the lettuce and everything. So without any further ado, welcome, boys, to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Thank you very much.
Good, guys. Thanks for coming on. Welcome. How and when did this all start? Is it a family recipe? Let's tell us a little bit of an origin story of Caliente Hot Sauce.
Oh, and Ivan, start with that then.
Yes, I will start with that. Thank you very much. Yes, this is my mom's recipe, the one with habanero. That one we start here at my restaurant in Solomon Arm, BC. I was just doing it for myself and for my friends and family. And Kyle's daughter, she was working here with us, and he came with her along, and we were chatting, and he wants to start a new restaurant, and he wants to intrigue how to manage this the restaurant thing. And he asked me if he can join me in the kitchen just to do like how I'm doing it. And I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. But after we finish working in the kitchen, we have like a feast on the table. And then I brought the hot sauce, and Kyle's like, oh, this is really good. I was like, let's bottle it. But before him was other people doing it. I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And next weekend, he come with like 10 yards. And it's like, try this one. I was like, what? Why did you put this? And try this one and try that. So he actually put the great effort to say, okay, what do you use for your hot sauce? And then I told him what I'm using. But that, like in Mexico, we don't have a recipe. We just put everything, and then you try. Right? So that's how we started. And then we become like more successful here with the local stores. And then after that, Kyle did the rest of it.
Where are you guys right now?
We're in Salmon. I'm at Cantina Vallarta at Ivan's restaurant.
Cantina Vallarta.
That's the birthplace?
That is the birthplace. This is the original home of...
That's kind of like where the garage, like when Apple started in a garage, that's where you guys started Caliente.
That's exactly what it was. It started around the table with some tequila. And
always.
And we had a handshake, and that was it. That's how we started our business. And it's been a really amazing roller coaster. I absolutely love it. I would never go back to what I was doing previously. And here we are now. It's
cool, man. Guys, so Kyle, I don't know if you actually remember, but we've met before.
Absolutely. I remember still doing the boomerang video with you. It was my first time ever doing that.
That's right. Yeah, you came in, I want to say it was like 2.5 years ago now, hey?
Absolutely, yeah. Back then it was just the habanero version, just the one side. Still in our infancy of doing anything. And I was still reaching out to the smaller establishments like what you have.
No, it was awesome. We used it in a lot of caterings. I definitely will be honest that I used it in some cooking, and I didn't realize how spicy it was. may have had a bit of a heavy hand, but it was still delicious. It's really, 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 really good. So yeah, it was cool to see you kind of like hitting up all the places in downtown early on there to make sure you can get the product out there. It really shows the early hustle of an entrepreneur. So I love to see that.
Absolutely. Our very first store was DeMille's Farm Market here in Salmon Arm. And
Yep.
Brad, the owner, he took us on, and that's where it started. And we went to Blind Bay Village Grocer. Ivan and I together went out there and visited with the general manager there, and they were also amazing with us. I must say, locally and even just throughout BC, the support that is out there for small business and entrepreneurs is really, really good. Once you have a viable product like we do, it really becomes, that's definitely a helping hand in getting this going.
I have a couple of
100%.
questions. Why wasn't it called Mama Gracia first?
It's funny to say that. The first to answer that question, Ivan and I were standing in the kitchen one day here working as we were doing, and we were talking about the names, and I was mentioning multiple names like what you're saying, and he's like, "No, I think it should be one word, only one."
I said, you know, like any other product that it has success, I say we should put just one word, and that will be the best. Why? Because every other like big brand,
You're right.
only one name, like one word, sorry. And then his daughter is like, okay, whatever you guys gonna put in that Caliente Hot Sauce name, just put Caliente. And I say, why Caliente? Because it sounds sexy. And I was like, oh, okay, there we go. That was the main thing. Like also Caliente means like hot, right?
Yeah.
But sexy at the same time. So you need to both. It was more like marketing than any other thing. Like I have people telling me like, oh, caliente means spicy in Spanish. It means picante. And I was like, yeah, but this is not about Spanish.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
the hot sauce. So
Call it
people,
whatever you want.
sometimes they try to relate the name with the product when sometimes it doesn't nothing to do. Like other like big brands, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally. I wanted to ask now, so from all the different, how it evolved, I guess, as you guys were creating it, from the final one, when you said, this is it, how long from that until you started getting them into stores, your first
Well,
few stores?
After we had the recipe, we did 120 bottles, and we just did them right here in the restaurant, and we had them in the fridge. And we thought we'd let customers try it, put on the tables, see what the response was. Well, we were blown away because that first 120 bottles was gone lickety split. So we knew we were onto something. From that point, it became how do we package it? How do we get this out? So then we met with the health department, and we did all of that legwork, and it was just, that was the start of it for sure.
And actually, it's good that he mentioned it because we were using local produce, like from the local stores.
Yes.
So when they started to see how much tomatoes and onions and peppers we were buying it, I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, seriously? And I was like, and then we mentioned that. And that was, everybody was intrigued. I want to try that. I want to see, like, what you guys doing? When they saw that, even other big companies, they were like, oh, why you don't try our company? You know, that was like, wow. That was like something that blows our mind.
What hit it for me as well is it's not a vinegar-based hot sauce. It's a tomato-based hot sauce. Well, the first two versions are. So it does not have that vinegar hit that most hot sauces have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not cooked, it's not fermented, it's just fresh, raw ingredients. And everything you can pronounce, it's very, very different in the hot sauce world. There are many, many of them out there. Some are very good, but we are very different. There is just nothing else that's marketed the way we are in produce, with the type of ingredients. So.
And what year did you guys start?
It is
2016.
Yes, that was.
And how many? And was there a lot of different types of bottles you guys went to before the one that we see now, mostly?
Yes, we started with the large ice wine bottle, and
Wow.
aesthetically, I thought it was really cool. And we get a cork and that with a wax seal, but not very practical. And we learned the grocery game fairly quickly, and went down to a smaller bottle, something that would fit in the shelves. The one that you would have seen, David. That was the second. That was the second iteration. Then we had help from a friend of mine in Vernon that runs a company that is for optimization of other business. And he said, I think that you guys should look at different branding. So we did that. We started looking at different branding because our branding was very very common. And I actually bought an app for my iPad. That's how we designed the first label. Like,
This one, no, that one, no, take that one out.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we worked with him, and we worked with Genie's Printing here in Salmon Arm, and we got together a label and new branding, and that's the branding we're currently using, and we love it.
Yeah, we like to discuss. Like he brought like, I don't know, like 75 different brands and like different types, and it was different designs, and we both pick like 2 or 3 different ones, and we put one together, and that's how we thought that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool, guys. And so what other flavors do we have? We got the original, which is the habanero. What other styles are we looking at?
Right, so we start with the habanero, and that's it. So the habanero is a very crisp, clean flavor. It goes with many different dishes. The next version we started working on is a chipotle version. And the chipotle version is smoky, and it's good with barbecue. It's good with anything that you want that smoky hit to be added to. We use a naturally smoked chipotle pepper, so it's very, very nice. It's not got any chemicals, which a lot of them have. And then just our most recent version is a jalapeno version. And the jalapeno version is a mix of jalapeno and serrano peppers. But it's, nice. It's now a tomatillo base. So very, very different again. It's got a
green sauce.
Right. It's got a nice acidity to it. And we've used a bit of pineapple for some balance.
Nice.
Right. Some cilantro. It's a very different flavor. It's also, again, very clean, nice with fish or anything you really want to brighten. It really brightens up almost anything you put it on. And we've had amazing response.
I think the tomatillo, it's my favorite hot sauce, like the green one. And why? Because like he was saying, the vegetables by itself has its own flavor that is like not the same one with other one. So that's why.
Would you say that the tomatillo is a little bit more mild?
No, it is the most mild. Yes,
it has acidity, more acid than the regular tomato. But the flavor is the one is crazy.
Because boy, do I have a tomatillo sauce story for you guys.
Are you talking about?
Oh yeah, it was in Mexico, or Mexico, I should say. And I started putting it on this burrito because I'm used to the Americanized tomatillo sauce, which is a little more mild, maybe a little kick to it. And I just slathered that stuff on. And it actually took me probably eating half of the meal before I realized what was so spicy in it. I was like, what did I put that was so spicy? Like my face started to turn red, was sweating, lips on fire. I could not figure it out. And then I realized, oh my goodness, that tomatillo sauce is like fire.
Yeah, well, the idea with the entire, like, the whole 3 versions we have about the hot sauce is not about the heat. It's about flavor. Exactly. We add flavor to the meal that you are eating.
And right? I think that's excellent because you get a lot, especially with Mexican hot sauces, they get a bad rap for just being so spicy. So just making sure that like people obviously know, because I can attest to that. The flavor is phenomenal. So it's
taste
not about
the food
heat, it's about flavor.
Exactly. When it's that spicy, it takes away from the flavor of the food. But if it accompanies it, that's a whole nother story.
You can't, but Ivan, I'm sure, can handle heat like 10 times both of us can. So
yeah, probably.
We are the same.
Yeah, he's amazing, but he does the same. Like I ate the spicy a lot, and he become like really good spicy eater. And you know what? That's the thing. Like in Mexico, people think like in Mexico we eat crazy spicy, but I grew up in a town that is not. My mom used to cook 2 meals, one for my dad and one for us because he had like some intestinal problems, so he couldn't handle the heat. So that's why my mom put always the sauce on the side.
Right.
She cooked 1 meal for everybody and a huge hot sauce meal beside it. So we put it a lot. It depends how big. Depends how angry she was. She was like, no, like it was bad. She was
Payback.
Like, I was like, oh, that was like really spicy.
That's hilarious.
That's awesome. Are you guys going to be coming out with a sauce that's called Payback then, or what? Like,
no, it's funny. I've done, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of demos now in stores all over the province.
Yeah.
Actually, all the way into Winnipeg now. And I get asked that question a lot. What's the hottest one? What's the hottest one? Well, we're just not about that. Like, there are so many hot sauces out there that their goal is to burn your insides, and that's just
Right.
not who we are. We are about flavor. We are about fresh ingredients, and we want to accompany every meal. We want to be there for whatever you're making, just as a nice flavor addition.
Awesome.
So you actually just gave away the answer here to a question. I was going to say, how far between here and out east are you? And you just said Winnipeg. That's an incredible accomplishment. But what kind of stores can the folks find your products in right now?
Right now, we're national with Save On Foods, so we have a listing with Save On Foods. So we're all the way to Winnipeg with them.
Wow.
With all their other stores. We are also in all of the Bilo and Nestor's food stores. We are working our way with Sobeys. We're in some Safeway stores in British Columbia. We're working with FreshCo right now. We are in Nature's Fair. We're in a number of farm stores and local markets, which is where we got our start, and we're so thankful for those stores. I'm also reaching out now into restaurant service. Of course, with what's happening right now with the industry, that's a little more difficult. But we have 9 different SKUs, 3 different products. So we've got a restaurant size, a smaller bottle for trying, and then a medium-sized bottle for people who know they love it. We also are available online now, so that's something also that's new. We've got one of our friends that's working with us in Vernon, and he takes care of all the online sales, so it's working out really well there.
So
what would you say?
You're doing direct to consumer then online?
We are, and then that's not our end goal, but that's we're servicing the places that can't get it right now.
Cool.
He has shipped product to the Northwest Territories. He's shipped product back east. I have shipped product to Australia. Ivan has brought product to Mexico with him. Like it's been all over. We've shipped to the States. It's very, very interesting.
So you mentioned obviously like Save On Foods and FreshCo and Bilo. Which one was your actual like first big customer?
Save On Foods.
Save On Foods. Yeah. When did you land them?
2017.
2017. So pretty quick, like right after, pretty much.
We got it in on the Fresh Food BC program, and that's where we started. And they were really good with us. Definitely a hustle. I put on 60,000 kilometers on my truck that year, hauling hot sauce all over the province, and head office took notice of that, and they took notice of what the sales were, and we're working with them now. It's been amazing. They've been amazing to deal with, so I'm very, very happy with them for sure. And we're doing along the same lines now. We've been working with Sylvie's Safeway in the same idea.
And are you guys working directly with retailers, or have you partnered with some distribution companies also?
We have some very small distribution locally, but it's mostly been directly with the warehouse.
Really?
Buyers of the companies, and then just me still.
That's the work, the hard work.
No doubt, man. That's the hustle right there. I love it.
Absolutely, but
cool.
It's definitely worth it.
And then what about the future here? Is there any other new ideas you guys are scheming or working in the kitchen there after hours in the restaurant that you're coming up with? Anything that we should be looking out for?
Well, I definitely want to bring out 1 new product per year. That's my goal. And then our expansion. My girlfriend lives in Australia, in Melbourne. She does most of our social media at this point, well over 90%. And I've actually brought hot sauce to Australia, and we had it into one store down there with more for sampling than anything else. But it was just cool to put our flag in it and say, look, we're all the way to the south of the world.
Yeah.
So it's very cool. And then Ivan also has brought a bunch to Mexico, and of course it's more common to have hot sauces similar to this there.
Yeah.
But again, it's something that people like, just like here, even though you know how to make it or you could make it, you don't, because it's just a lot easier just to pick it from the fridge. And if it's something that's healthy, why not?
What kind of response have you been getting with people when you do your tastings at the retailers?
I've had such great response as far as the flavor side of it goes. Of course, I've had people that think it's very hot, other people that drink it and say, well, where's the peppers? So, I mean, it just shows you the variety that are in people. But we get a lot of really good response, especially with running the ingredients list. Once they read that, that's when people start to get amazed about it. And the fact that we're in produce, the fact that it's a produce item.
Do people think that's a mistake, though, that when they walk by the produce section and they see bottles in there, they just run out of shelving space and we had to put them there? Or?
When we first got into some stores, they were putting it, in other areas, not knowing where to put it. And that was definitely a hurdle. But I did that purposely because we want to be known as the fresh hot sauce.
Yes, we're different. So everybody else cook their hot sauce. Ours is raw, totally raw. And we reach other market that is like, the veggie people, vegan people. They're like, they loving it. They're like, they try it and they fall in love with it. Right? I try here at the restaurant when we started we put it on the tables. Right now we can't because the situation that we are. But everybody now is like, can we get your hot sauce? Can we get your hot sauce? And it's part of the media that we're doing it.
Absolutely.
Right?
And then also working with other pubs and things close. We did wing night over here at the Barley Station in Salmon Arm, and we're trying to branch out more to that. Midtown Bistro in Vernon's been great with us. You know, they've featured us for a long time now. I actually went to high school with the owner there, Kelly.
Kelly, yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, so it's you know, it's amazing how small the world really is. I run into people all the time doing demos and things. I've run into people that I haven't seen for 20 years doing demos. It's really, really cool, and I wouldn't trade this for anything.
Well, the cool part is you guys are from the Okanagan, and it's an Okanagan success story. And that's what we love focusing on once in a while when we can. And you guys are just amazing people for the reach that you have and for keeping it local as well.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. And thank you for the people. And remember, this is the green bottle. This is the jalapeno one. This is the habanero. This is our first bottle. So this is like the best, like most of the people, they love it. And chipotle, oof.
That's awesome, guys. Well, I'll definitely have to pick up some more bottles there and stock the fridge.
And we'll have to come up to Salmon Arm too, to your restaurant.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anytime you're going to try it, just with your meal, just come here at the restaurant. You try my food, try the recipe, and you will be amazing. We're in Salmon Arm, BC.
Also, when it opens back up, Ivan does salsa dancing every second Saturday night.
Well, when it's open.
When it's opening, come and dance.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you are looking to follow Caliente Hot Sauce, check them out on Facebook and Instagram, just as is, Caliente Hot Sauce. Check out all their amazing content. And speaking of Instagram and Facebook, make sure you follow us for all of our cool new episodes and new merch that we're coming out with. Most of all, we are actually doing a lot of contests right now, especially with all of our guests, where we are giving away wonderful prizes. Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit about this week's prize?
Okay, guys, if you were watching, Kyle and Ivan told us what year their company launched. So if you remember the answer, what year did Caliente Hot Sauce start? You're a winner of a few prizes. So this week you're lucky. There's more than one.
Very, very, very cool. So more information on how you're going to win and where to pick up, etc.
Don't forget, we got our merch line. It's finally out. We're calling our line our towns because it is our towns that's in the Okanagan. Our first t-shirt, it's got all the towns in there. And it also comes in coasters and stickers. And this one's called the Sunset Towns. So we got stickers, coasters. We've got a coffee mug.
Water bottles. Very excited about the water bottle. There's the label right there. Very excited.
Wine tumblers and tons of other things. So check out our Instagram and Facebook page. That's where you can find a lot of our products.
Peter, I'm devastated.
What's up, my friend?
I'm devastated because I'm going to be missing next week's show, being in person, for one of the coolest Hello Okanagan episodes to date. Why don't you tell us and the fans a little bit about it?
Well, I'm excited too. We're calling it Cruising the Okanagan. Why are there so many cool classic cars and exotic cars in the area? We're going to ask these guys, is it the weather? Is it the view when they're driving up and down the 97? Catch all these amazing hot cars, and we're going to chat with the owners on next week's amazing show. See you next week.